Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the BMW X5 Protection VR6. Now the VR6 has nothing to do with Volkswagen in this case, but it's actually a ballistic rating that this car is capable of withstanding. That scale goes all the way from VR1 to VR10, and VR6 is the protection that's available against a Kalashnikov, for example. So what I'm going to do is run through the car front to back and explain some of the features on it. So if we look at the engine bay, this is a 4.4 V8 twin-turbo engine that produces 530 horsepower, so the drivers have enough power to get away from any threat. It also has an option called mobility preservation, which means that if the engine gets shot or you have an accident, in normal circumstances, the engine would shut itself down to protect the engine. But on this car, it will actually keep driving until it has a mechanical failure and cannot drive anymore. If we look at the suspension, it is the M Sport suspension, but it is slightly reinforced to cope with the weight. Talking about the weight of this car, it's actually 800 kilos heavier than a standard car due to all the armor protection it has. It's also raised, so the car doesn't look like it's sitting lower. And because of the type of people that have this car, heads of states, presidents, security services, it still needs to be comfortable to drive and to sit in. This is actually a really cool feature. It pops out and there's a gun. No, I'm joking. It's basically for a flag, so you can put a flag in there like diplomats have. In terms of the countries this car is sold in, it's sold in countries like Pakistan, India, and Russia. So the car itself starts life as a normal X5, and then it is shipped to BMW's partners in Mexico because they have a lot of experience in making armored cars. In terms of the actual armored part of the car, it's from here to the back of the pillar, and that's because it's to protect the passengers from attack. If we look at all the panels on the car, they have steel reinforcement and they can take a blast from a Kalashnikov or 15 kg explosion. The glass itself is reinforced from the outside and inside and has 5 layers of glass, which is about 80 millimeters thick. It also has, if we look inside, these metal reinforcement plates, and that's for if you have an explosion and the explosion goes outwards and then it's sucked back in, it prevents the glass from coming outwards so you can't get a gun inside. So they've really thought about what to do to protect the passengers. The roof is also reinforced, and that's because BMW customers who buy these cars are saying that they're more susceptible to drone attacks now. So it's really easy to put a hand grenade on a drone and drop it on top so it can withstand that kind of blast too. The back of the car also has the same glass here, and the interior is protected by another shield, which we'll show you when we get around the back. The doors are really heavy, obviously because of all the armor plating. The glass itself weighs around 50 kgs. And the idea with this car from BMW was to make it look like a normal X5, not to make it look like it was armored, and I think they've actually achieved that. So people can't tell that someone special is riding in it. Moving to the back of the car, it looks like a standard X5, but it has one of the really coolest features in this car. It actually has a button, so if, for example, you were kidnapped by somebody in your own car, you push the button, and when the vehicle next comes to a stop, the engine will cut off, you won't be able to restart it, the car will lock itself, so your kidnappers will be locked in the car, the boot will open, and you can make a run for it. So, inside the car looks like a normal X5. It's got the digital dash, it's got the big sat-nav screen, and all the buttons look standard, apart from the special console, which we'll show you a bit later on. The whole idea with this car is to make it look and feel as normal as an X5 as possible, so that when the guys are driving the car, they feel like they can drive it like a normal X5 and it doesn't attract too much attention. The other cool feature with this car is that it does come standard with soft closed doors, and the reason is not for the luxury aspect of it, but to make sure that the door is actually closed properly to really keep the car secure from any attack. So the other cool feature about this car is the special buttons, a bit like what James Bond would have in his car, except it doesn't shoot any rockets. So the car also has an intercom system, so if somebody needs to talk to you from outside the car, you can keep the window closed completely but still have a conversation with somebody outside. So no one can essentially trick you into opening the window and then attack you when you do that. It also has this red button, which is the attack alarm, and when you push that, the horn will continuously beep and the lights will all flash to let people know that you're in trouble so they can come and give you a hand. So I hope you've enjoyed the guided tour of the BMW X5 Protection VR6, and if you are a head of state, a president, or even a real life Tony Montana, you can contact BMW Protection Vehicles and get your order in for one of these. Thank you for watching, guys. If you want to watch more of our videos, you can watch them over here. If you want to watch what YouTube suggests that you might like from our videos, you can watch them over here. As always, if you haven't already, please like our video and subscribe to our channel. If you've got any questions for us, please drop them in the comments below and we will do our best to answer them for you.